Guys, you got one piece of hair that just won't cooperate, but I'm back. I'm making this video because I did this video talking about releases in January. Obviously it's January 18th, but I don't know why, but like the app that I'm using called Kingmaster, it won't upload that specific video. I tried downloading, actually, that's what I meant, to export. I tried exporting other videos. It seems to do that, but for some reason, that video, it won't upload. So I'm going to try something different. Hopefully it works. But yeah, most of this stuff is late. And, oh well, at least most of these are already out. So today is January 18th. Hopefully it comes out. And that is it. Goodbye. Hey, you guys. It's Nawasim. Don't mind the blue lipstick. But I'm going to discuss my anticipated releases for January and February. I know that we are halfway through January. In fact, today is the 13th of January. I might post this video up, depends on how fast I am with editing, either today late at night or tomorrow early in the morning. Hopefully tomorrow, because some of the books that I'm talking about are going to be released tomorrow. So, and some of them I actually pre-ordered. Actually, one of them. So I can't wait to start reading it. Anyway, I am going to continue. So I'm back. I put my hair away because I got tired, but it's really nice. It's so nice, actually. I wish it was like the dark purple of this or like a dark green, but I don't see it at my beauty supply store. But the lipstick I was wearing was colored rain in the color Royal. Focus camera. Well, it's not gonna focus actually. Can you? It's the color Royal from Colored Rain. I'll put the link down below. It's not sponsored, but we're gonna start with this whole anticipated releases. I got Goodreads up and open. Let's start with January, actually, because most of these are books that I have actually that's kind of on my mind, or at least piqued my interest. The ones that really piqued my interest, at least for the next 2 months, is starred. So there's going to be a star next to it. So this is for January and February, you guys. So let's start with Unspeakable Things by Jess Lurie. Now, this one I'm interested in because it's based on she based this on something horrible that happened at her hometown of Minnesota. So it's inspired by her hometown. Wait, I don't think she's from Minnesota, but it takes place in Minnesota. Anyway, this is a historical fiction / mystery thriller. Of course, you got kids who go missing. Someone comes hunting, in the area. So one by one, local boys go missing. Now, here's the thing: when I was like looking up anticipated reads, I realized that missing children, mostly boys, is like a prevalent problem within some of these thrillers. So I'm looking forward to it. Although I'm not gonna lie, ever since I started to read Sarah Packman, which, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We'll get to that in a few videos in the future. But ever since I started reading mysteries last year, I realized that I'm kind of into domestic thrillers or the really violent ones that Corinne Slaughter writes. So I'm excited about this one. But basically each of the local boys, they go missing, but they return, and they return violent, moody, and withdrawn. They don't know what's happening to them. There's a whole bunch of shocking rumors about it. Accusations on who's responsible for all of this are wild and dangerous. Town secrets start to surface. So then the main character, whose name is Casey, her sister goes underneath a really dark teen, so now they have to like really figure out what's happening. Anyway, I really like the image here. It's so, I don't know. I just like the filter that's on this. There's a lot of book covers I would like to like put on my phone background, but Shishui Yuchiya takes place. Okay, so does Sakura. I like take screenshots, of course, but yeah. Another book that's already out is We Used to Be Friends by Amy Starling. I realized I didn't say the author's name. I think I did. I'll see through the footage. But basically you have two friends who grew up and then they grew up apart. This is a YA novel. This is contemporary. I think there's some LGBTQ representation, so I don't know if they used to be, I'm so immature. I don't know if they used to do that to each other, and maybe one girl fell in love with another person and then the other one got jealous. Like, I'm ready for it. And I started to make some predictions about certain things. So anyway, now the next one is actually a nonfiction read that already came out, and that is A Black Woman's History of the United States by Diana Ramsey Berry and Callie Nicole Gross. I don't know. But basically this spans over 400 years of American history, but through the lens of Black women. So you get to see here, and it's a collection of actually it's by two Black women historians, and they're both award winning. So they get to go from the poor to the rich, to the sex workers, to the female convicts, to looking at historical stereotypes, also certain myths, while also understanding the Black woman in America throughout the span of 400 years. I'm really excited about this. This is already out, you guys, so go to your local library or, buy it. So it really looks at race, gender, sexuality in the North as well in the South, in the rural and urban areas. So I'm actually excited. You guys, like I said in my 2020 goals, I want to read more nonfiction. This seems right up my alley. So I cannot wait. And it's written by two authors, so I don't know. Maybe it's like a narrative nonfiction, like it's telling me a story. Anyway, the next one, which is it's not out yet. It actually takes place tomorrow, which is January 14th. Actually, the next few books are going to be January 14th for that matter. And that is The Tenant by Katrin Egbert. I know that this book was popular in Germany, and I guess this is translated to English. So now it's like newly released in America. So you can check that out tomorrow. It's a mystery thriller. You have a young woman who was brutally murdered in her own apartment, and then you have weird patterns of cuts all over her face, and it's like anyway, I hope she's like just as gruesome as Corinne Slaughter. To be honest with you, there's like no in between, cozy or bam. Which reminds me, I hadn't yet to read a cozy mystery, but I'm going to watch another YouTuber by the name of Terrell, Tori Terrell, to see what his recommendations are. Anyways, so basically, yeah, this takes place in Germany. So basically, and I think this is the first book of a series, because when I was looking on Goodreads, it says book 1 of, I'm not even going to pronounce the German name, but yeah, I'm so excited. And then there's another murder victim who turns up, and then you have unfinished business, and then you have twists and turns. I never really read mysteries from other countries that don't speak English, to be honest. That wasn't translated. Like, for example, I've read mysteries from Australia. From Australian authors. I've read mysteries from British authors as well as American, but I never really read outside that scope. And I know that different countries have a way of telling mysteries. Like, there's one book that's on my TBR called Stalker by Lars Kelper, and he's from Swedish. So I don't know how they tell their stories differently. I'm really interested to see. But moving on to the next one. Now then, this book makes me nervous, okay? I'm sorry. This book is called The Care and the Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls by Anissa Gray, also on January 14th, like I said. So according to the blurb, it's a mix between The Mothers and An American Marriage. Now then, I don't like The Mothers as much. However, I hadn't read An American Marriage yet. Basically, this is her debut novel, and it's about the relationships between mothers and daughters, identity and family, how relationships can, sustain you, can also be the ones that consume you. So I already have a few examples in my head from reality TV. We're going to move on, okay? But I'm interested, okay? There's no star next to it, but it's on my, I'm watching it, okay? Another book that comes out tomorrow is Say Her Name by Zidika Elliott. Now, this author, it's a collection of poetry. Again, I wanted to get into more poetry, and I've been keeping my eye out for poetry books that seem to interest me, which I'm kind of shocked, because when I asked yesterday, like, how many books you can check out at once, turns out you can check out 99 books at my library. What? That's crazy. And this camera makes this red top looks like it's a hot pink. Anyway, whatever. But it's crazy, right? Anyway, so I'm just gonna read the blurb because I really like this blurb. Okay, so say her name, solemnly vow, never to forget or allow our sisters' lives to be erased. Their presence cannot be replaced. Their senseless slaughter must stop now. That grabbed my attention. I don't know about you guys, but it really grabbed my attention. This one comes out tomorrow, and the author is award-winning. She engages poets from the past two centuries, to create a chorus of voices to celebrate the resilience of Black women and girls. So, and actually, the hashtag Say Her Name campaign launched by the African American Policy Forum. These poems pay tribute to victims of police brutality, as well as activists campaigning the Black Lives Matter cause. I'm sorry. And this compelling collection reveals the beauty and danger and magic found in the intersection of race and gender. So I'm about to put a star right next to this one. So like I said, I wanted to get into more poetry, and I guess I'm going to have to wait. Actually, I'm going to have to look up right now to see if it's at my library. So hold up. Okay, I'm back. So let's continue on with this video. I was looking up some books at my library. Anyway, so the next book that we have is Saving Savannah by Tanya Bowden. This is the story of an African-American girl who's becoming a woman in her own terms against the backdrop of a widespread social change in the early 1900s. in the 1900s America. And as the daughter of an upper class African American family in Washington, D.C., Savannah is lucky, but she's feeling very suffocated by society. She meets a working class girl named Nell who introduced her to the suffragette, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong anyways, and also the socialist movements. Oh, the suffrage movement, and also other socialist movements, inspiring her to fight for change. And you guys really see, the cover. It's so goddamn beautiful. This also comes out tomorrow. Now, as you can see, this one is starred. I actually pre-ordered this because a seat at the table, hosted by O'Shaleigh reads Brittany from Melanin Look Collected, and I'm sorry, not Jordan. No, not Jordan. Oh my goodness, the ladies of Troy. My bad, you guys. I'm sorry. It's late at night. Okay, Troy from Bookish Wallflower. They're the host of a seat at the table, and they announced their read. This is going to be for the next few months, I believe, because they decided to instead pick 4 books in total for the whole entire year, because people got other stuff to do, and I can't wait for the next live stream. I'll link down below their plans for 2020. But basically, this is a mix of an audio biography mixed with magical realism, because the main character is the author Echo Brown. In fact, as you can see by the picture, it looks just like the author, and it's very beautiful. And basically, it's a very like I said, it's like an autobiography infused with magical realism. Black Girl Unlimited is very fearless in the intersections of poverty, sexual violence, depression, racism, sexism, everything. And it's a coming of age. And I'm excited because she's a wizard on the east side, and I feel like the way that she's going to tell her story is going to be very interesting. Now, that's all of the books that's coming out tomorrow. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is this book comes out. The next 2 books actually comes out January 21, and this is Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar. I'm sorry, I'm Haitian. I say Lamar Giles. Dell. It centers around this boy named Dell, who has a crush on Kira Westing since kindergarten, and now during the junior year, she's finally available. But he gets his chance with her at church, where everything happens, and he quickly realizes that that he's inadvertently signed up for a purity pledge. So I'm kind of interested to see how that is, because I've seen other boys, and clearly there's competition between him and other boys, because clearly Kira must be the it girl of the church and the hood. Okay. But I'm so excited. Now, this one has a star next to it. I'm so excited. This is the 8th book of the Black Panther series, and this is Black Panther Book 8, the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, Part 3. Now, I am so excited, you guys, by Tinashe Coates. Anyway, I'm so excited. I don't want to ruin it, but I feel like looking at the cover, I have a few theories running through my head with the cover. Like, I see Storm, I see T'Challa, I see Suri there. Like, there was a lot of events that happened beforehand, so I guess if you want to read it in order, definitely read it in order, of course, but like, yeah, I'm really interested. Anyway, I have a lot of theories, actually. Now, let's continue. The next book is The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. Now, this is a mystery thriller. You have Livia, who's turning 40 on her birthday. She's having a party, and she's been planning this for a long time, but the only person who's not there is her daughter named Maureen. But Liva. I'm going to mess up her name. Anyway, she has a secret, and she's been keeping it from her husband Adam. But until the party is over, and now I feel like she might start to reveal it. But she's really glad that her daughter's gone. So I don't know if she murdered her or maybe something bad happened. And Adam is determined everything will be just right for Olivia, and the party is going to be great until he learns something that will leave him facing an unbearable decision. So I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but we shall see. Now, this book is coming out on the 28th. It's this historical YA horror, fictional, paranormal, thriller. No, not thriller. I wouldn't say thriller. More of a novel. But basically, this is a gender bend of Dracula. Actually, I think this is a gender bend of Dracula, because you have this girl named Anna, who is the maid for the glorious Countess Elizabeth Bernier, and Elizabeth likes Anna, but I guess Elizabeth tricks Anna into doing something bad, so now Anna has to escape from Elizabeth. Ooh, maybe this is going to be a social commentary on abuse within the LGBTQ community. I can't wait to read, which reminds me, I have another thing to read. Now then, the next few books, these are mostly on February 4th, 2020, so buckle up, you guys. So the first thing that we have is The King of Crows, which is the 4th book of the Diviner series. Now, I stopped reading partway through the third book because I'm scared of a major character death because I know someone's going to die, but like I don't know who is going to die. Anyway, I highly recommend that series. Now then, like most of my ratings, if you look on Goodreads, if you compare your ratings to mine, I guess, it's kind of average with it, but like I'm enjoying the ride. I didn't expect to enjoy the series. But basically, if you want to know about the Diviner series, it's like this historical paranormal fiction. You have a cast, a wide range of diverse characters. So you can relate to almost anyone. And of course, I'm related to the black one who just so happens to be half Haitian. And it takes place during the 1920s. So there's a lot of paranormal stuff going on. And I'm guessing this is the final boss fight, the boss fight. Because like throughout the series, there's this weird creature, this weird paranormal thing who's been plaguing them since the very first book. And now I'm guessing this is the confrontational part. So I'm worried. I'm worried for my precious characters. Anyway, now this one I really don't know too much about. It seems to be a whole lot going on, but basically this is a thriller / mystery that takes place in India called Jinn Patrol on the Purple Lane by Dipa Anapara. I'm so sorry, y'all. But this is another, like I said, children are going missing. Most of them are boys, and people got to find out what's going on. And on top of that, you're dealing with social issues, with police brutality over there, people corrupt governments and stuff. So I don't know. Like I'm looking at the word jinn, but when I was like reading the synopsis, I don't think there's any jinn involved. Maybe the magical, like I don't think this has any magical realism, but maybe it's a metaphor for something else in this book. So I cannot wait. Now this one has magical realism, and that is King and the Dragonflies by Corinne Callender. King's brother died, and King, he thinks his brother was reincarnated as a dragonfly, but he can't really tell his family because they're still grieving. But anyway, one of his friends goes missing, and he's kind of nervous about it because about his friend, because his dead brother who died, when he was alive, he said, you don't want to hang around him because he's gay and you might turn gay. So I'm feeling that King, he internalized that homophobia, and he might have to confront that when he has to go looking for his friend, because his friend, I'm thinking, either went missing because of the abuse going on in by the hands of his father. So I feel like this is going to be a heavy read, and this is actually middle grade. So I'm excited. I never read anything by this author, so yeah. Now then, this one is by two authors, and this book is called Yes, No, Maybe So. I think this is Muslim representation because you have two separate families that go at each other. I don't think this is a Romeo and Juliet type of situation, and I think maybe this might be a love-hate situation, but I'm interested, actually. I am interested. So, and I love the cover. Like, there are so many beautiful covers. I want you on my phone. Like, for example, this one right here. Now, this one is called Below, and this is the first book of a new series called North by Alexandria Warwick. This takes place in a winter settings. You have a demon who takes people's faces and their skin, and then you have this evil little girl who makes a pact with Ape. I hope I'm saying her name right. She is how can I say, she is the main character. Of course, she's looking for something, and the evil little girl is also looking for something. So the evil girl makes a bargain with Ape, and she goes on this magical quest. And you guys, look at this cover. This is I feel like this cover is revealing a lot of the plot, maybe. Like, I feel like once I start reading it and I start to like look at the cover, I was like, oh, that's what that is. Because if you look very closely, like I hope you guys go on Goodreads to look at it. Like, you see what appears to be smoke around the girl. The girl is faceless, so maybe she has an encounter with the demon, or maybe it's the evil little girl's sister, because she's actually was looking for her sister's face. So maybe that's the little girl's sister's face that's gone missing, of course. And then in the background, of course, you got the cave where the demon lives, I think, and you have the moon and everything. You have around the shoulder of the girl, you have little faces, and when you look closely, it's like people's faces, and I didn't notice that until I'm looking at it right now. So I'm excited for you guys. I mean, well, for me. Now this one I was kind of nervous about, but then I was like, you know what, I want to read more books about mean girls, because I don't know, I just like, here's the thing, in real life, of course, nobody wants to deal with that mean girl, because I will straight up punch you in your face. But I feel like in books and stuff, it's like, I like it. Like, in books and movies, I like viewing the viewpoint of a group of mean girls who are really good friends and are powerful and like petty and all this other stuff. So I don't mind that in my TV and in my books. But if it's real life, I will straight up punch you in your throat. Ooh, that matched. Anyway, so this centers around a group of mean girls, and they're best friends and stuff. But one of them got raped by one of the boys from this affluent private school for boys. And I don't know if she got gang raped or it was just one boy. But the group of girls, they plot their revenge, and This is so good. This is actually called A Foul is Fair by Hannah Captain. And this is also a first book of a series. So I cannot wait. Now, this one I started because I'm so excited. This one is in February 11th. And this one is called Dead to Her by Sarah Pembroke. You have this couple who having trouble in paradise, and they're jealous of another couple. And I guess something happens. This is another domestic thriller, but look at the cover, you guys. Look at it. It's so goddamn beautiful. Anyway, this is another one that I want to put it on my background, but you know, Uchiha comes first. This is also a mystery thriller. And let's see. Next on January 11th this is actually a new fantasy, and this looks a bit Nordic. I'm getting the vibes from it, and there's a priestess, there's an assassin, and there's a traitor. I know that one girl was supposed to be sacrificed, but then she doesn't want to. Well, she's given the opportunity to turn away from being a sacrifice for a vengeful god, and I'm guessing she takes that opportunity, but there's a lot of consequences that goes for it, so she turns into assassin in order to, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm like, so, my camera shut down, but hey, we're back on track. Anyways, on to the next one. This is The Only Child, which also comes out February 11th. Now, this one I starred. This is very eerie. It's about this criminal psychologist who gets to interview a serial killer who never lets anybody near him. And she starts to find weird and very creepy, dangerous connections between the serial killer and her stepdaughter. Now, I'm starting to think that maybe the stepdaughter is, somehow the serial killer's either daughter, or maybe, I don't know how old the stepdaughter is, but maybe the stepdaughter is the serial killer the whole time and the serial killer is innocent. I don't know. There's so many twists and turns. And this is by Mia Sahu. I'm probably fucking up. But the next book, which comes out February 15th, is actually a nonfiction. Like I said, I wanted to get into more nonfiction. But this is Under Fire. I'm reporting the front lines of Trump's White House by April Ryan. It's forwarded by Tamron Hall, and I'm so excited because I love this woman. I like to watch all of her interviews each time that I possibly can, or each time I can, I try to watch her work, and I just love this lady. But basically, she's a veteran my bad, White House reporter. She thought she had seen everything. She spent 20 years as a White House correspondent, and then the Trump administration came in, and in Under Fire she takes us inside the confusion, the chaos of the Trump White House to understand how she and other reporters have to adjust to the new normal. But I loved her, and I've actually been hearing her talk about this like probably 2 years ago. I've been hearing about her talk about this for a while, so it's finally here, you guys, and it's coming in this year, February 2020, and it better be here. I mean, no setbacks. Anyway, now this one I started. This is coming out February 18th. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is called The Other Misses by Mary Kuba. I'm sorry. But basically, you have this girl named Hen, and her husband moves in. There's a weird murder that happened, and next thing you know, Hen and her husband are getting the eyes of suspicion from the whole entire town because they're the new family, in town. I'm sorry, I'm mixing Hen with another character. Anyway, Sadie, that is the name of the main character. So Sadie, she's getting drawn into the mystery of Morgan, who is the dead girl's death. But Sadie has to be really careful because the more she discovers about Mrs. Morgan, the more she begins to realize just how much she has to lose if the truth ever comes to light. So I don't know. I'm really interested. What if her husband has something to do with it? What if Morgan and Sadie's husband had an affair or something, and something bad happened? And child, I like theorizing a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this one, the next book, which also comes out February 18th, I believe. This one is very much, this also comes out February 18th as well, and this is called No Bad Deed by Heather Chavez. And the best way to describe it is when a good Samaritan goes wrong. That's the best way to describe it, because you have this old veteran female who sees something, an argument between a man and a woman, and she decides to intervene. But then the guy makes a huge threat to her, and now weird, strange things are happening to her and her family. So yeah, Good Samaritan gone wrong. That's the best way to explain this. Now then, this is an author that I have heard about. I have, and this is Peter Swanson, and this book is called Before She Knew Him. And I have heard of his works. I know about the crazy incesty one, and I know about Her Every Fear, which I meant to read last year, but I didn't get to it. In fact, this book and Her Every Fear is the only ones that I seem to be very interested in. So I'm excited. But this is Hen. My bad. So Hen and her husband move into a new place, but then they decide, and everything is really nice and calm. And they meet their new neighbors, right? But then that's when all the calm goes into chaos because Hen, she spots a very familiar object displayed on the husband's office shelf, her neighbors, and she realized that the trophy looks exactly like the one that was missing from the home of a young man who was killed 2 years ago. And Hen, she knows about this because she has a very long obsession with this unsolved murder. It's unsolved, right? And she doesn't want to talk about it anymore, but she also can't really shake it off either. And how much money do you want to bet that Hen probably smashed the younger dude, probably had an affair with the man who died in some way, shape, or form before the husband? Because based on the title and the synopsis, I'm thinking, something shady going on, something shady, okay? The next one is another poetry, which I'm so excited about. This is called We Want Our Bodies Back, poems. This cover is so goddamn beautiful, though. And it's by Jessica Care Moore. And my goodness, this is very beautiful, you guys. Basically, it's a collection of poems about the Black experience from a Black woman's perspective, probably doing more with rape culture, probably doing how media portrays the Black woman's body. Probably, I'm pretty sure, I guarantee you, I got many on it, that there's going to be at least one poem that talks about, white women getting plastic surgery to look like us, and also tanning their skin extra dark to the point that they borderline look mixed race. Blackfishing, anyone? So this is new. I wouldn't be surprised that they start talking about blackfishing in this, but yeah. Now this one, you guys, this one, I have to read the whole thing to you. I'm so fucking excited. I already pre-ordered this in ebook format, so I'm so excited. I wish that this came out a bit earlier. And this is the last one for February, and I'll create ones for March and then April and all that stuff for another time. But you guys, I'm so fucking excited. So you got this girl named Alexandria who's tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. Okay, she's gonna woo the Shadow King. She's gonna marry him. She's gonna kill him and then take her kingdom for herself. You guys, it's everything. Okay, everything that I want. You guys, in my evilness. Okay. So no one knows the extent of the freshly crowned Shadow King's power. Some say that he can command the shadows that swirl around him to do his bidding. Others say that they speak to him, whispering the thoughts of his enemies. Regardless, Alexandra knows that what she deserves, and she's going to do everything within her power to get it. But Alexandra is not the only one who wants to kill the king. As attempts on his life are made, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough for him to make her his queen, while also struggling not to lose her heart. After all, who better for a Shadow King than a cunning villainous queen? To be honest with you, I would love this to be a love story between two villains, or an anti-villain, aka Alexandria, and the villain, the Shadow King, coming together to be in love. I hope that this is, I think this is a YA novel, but I hope this is more new adult. Like, again, I want a new adult section, but I hope that this is more leaning towards new adult. This is a standalone, too bad, but I hope that they get together. I don't know, like, I have so many predictions. Like, what if, like, they got together and, like, she gets what she wants, but what if the Shadow King kills her first and then it's, like, all over, right? Or what if, like, it seems like this is heading towards, like, enemies to enemies / acquaintance to enemies to friends to enemies to lovers to now, okay, I love you, now we're gonna, like, rule each other and, like, rule together and then take over the world as two evil people. I want this now. I hope that this, I'm really scared because I already pre-ordered this. I'm really scared of spending my money this year, y'all. You guys, I know, I'm really scared. Because then what if it goes bad? That's why you always go to your library first. If you have a good selection, you always go to your library first, because then it's like window shopping for the books that you want in your collection. But I'm excited because I know that this is one that I want to, like, write all over instead of, having to worry about, having to pay a fine and everything. So it's an ebook format, so whatever. I'm excited. And this is it for January and February. Now then, I hope to see you guys next time. I have a few videos coming up. I hope to see you guys soon. Goodbye. Read a book, read a book.